Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls for when the lights go out. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Well, you're in for a Christmas treat tonight, because tonight's story is called The Letter That Made Santa Claus Cry. And this is a story by me. Last year, in 2019, on Christmas Eve, and I told it to my 3 little children who are in the story. And so, I'd like to play it again tonight for the festive story for Christmas. A big shout out goes to all those who are supporting, liking, thumbs upping, hearting, loving and following this show everywhere, because it's for you guys. Our show, our mission is 1,003 stories for boys and girls around the world forever, and especially in the UK, especially on Spotify. I have about 2,013 followers so far, and as promised, if I get 2021 followers by the year 2021, I'm going to give away 2021 of my books. That's right, a very large number, 2021. So, please hit like and subscribe, and please tell your mommy or daddy, or please yourself, hit subscribe and like and follow on Spotify. Please, please, please do that, so I can share and give back for 2021, because this year has been a tough year for lots of us. Are you ready for the story about the letter that made Santa Claus cry? It's a recording from last year, remember? Okay, I'm going to play it for you now. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope that Santa Claus has brought you everything that you deserve, because you deserve everything. Once upon a time. This is a true story, actually, and it is about Daddy. Almost all about Daddy, because one time when Daddy was a little boy, about 7 or 8, my mummy and Daddy said, "It's Christmas soon. You have to write a letter to Santa and send it to him and tell him all the presents that you want to get for Christmas."
Did you say once upon a time?
Once? No, I didn't. Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Martyn, and his mummy and daddy, in fact it was his daddy, said about a week before Christmas, "What would you like for Christmas? What do you want Santa Claus to bring you for Christmas?" And I thought about it. He thought about it. And the boy's daddy gave him some paper and said, "Write down exactly what you want. Make a list of all the things that Santa Claus can bring you to make you happy." And so the little boy made a list, and on it was a thing like a skateboard, and a new pair of shoes, and a remote control car, and a game and a puzzle, and lots of things. Now this boy was quite clever, and his brother and he had made a list of all the things that they wanted for Christmas. His brother wanted a football and some magazines and a new football t-shirt and some football shoes, but Martyn wanted a remote control car, a new skateboard and a book and a pencil.
Do you want that?
I did want that, yes I did. But before he gave the letter to his daddy, he threw it in the fire. You see, When Martyn was a little boy, he lived in a house and there was a fire in the living room next to the TV, and the fire made the house all warm, and that's how they sent the letters to Santa Claus. Lie down. The children wrote a letter of all the things they wanted. They put it on the fire and it burned and went up the chimney. Now, this boy put it right in the fire and he went up the chimney and he went to Santa Claus. And Santa Claus got the list. And as soon as he got the list from Martyn and his brother, he started to make all the presents with all the workers. The next day, in Martyn's house, his big brother said to him, "You know, Santa is not real." "Yes, he is." "No, he's not." "Yes, he is." "No, he's not." "Mummy, my brother says Santa's not real." And Mummy said, "Hey, big brother, don't you be talking to your little brother like that. Of course Santa's real." "No, he isn't," said the big brother. "Yes, he is," said Mummy and the little brother. The big brother stormed off and went to his bedroom and closed the door and started to read his football magazines. "Of course he's real," said the Mummy. Anyway, this Martyn believed his brother more than he believed his Mummy, and so he sat down and he knew that if he put the letter in the fire he could speak to Santa, and so he started to write a letter to Santa, even though when he was writing it, half of his mind didn't believe it was true, but half of his mind wanted to believe it was true. And so with half of mind, he wrote the letter to Santa. "Dear Santa, I don't know if you are true or not. I don't know whether to believe in you or not. But I'm writing this letter because if I don't, I'll never know. And if I don't, you'll never know how I feel. Because my big brother told me you're not real. And I feel quite sad because if you're not real, then nobody's going to read this letter. And if you are real, you are going to read this letter. And so what I really want to know from you, Mr. Santa Claus, is that are you real and do you bring me presents? Because if you are, can you tell my big brother to stop being a silly bugger? And to leave me alone because you're real. All the brothers and sisters don't believe you anymore and they tell me to stop being silly because I don't believe in Santa, but where do the presents come from? And just then his brother walked through his door. "What are you doing, Martyn?" And he felt so ashamed. He said, "Nothing, I'm reading a book." And he folded a letter. And as his brother walked out the door, he put it in an envelope and he ran downstairs. As his dad was just poking the fire, he threw it on the fire. "What's that, son?" his daddy said. "Nothing, no, it's just some rubbish I'm putting in the fire." Okay." And the letter burned and flew up the chimney and all the way to Santa. About 5 minutes later, the elf in Santa's grotto got the alarm bell. "Hey, Santa, you have to read this letter." "What's this?" said Santa. "It's a letter from a boy who doesn't know whether to believe you or not." "Quickly, give it here." Santa sat there. He unfolded the letter and he read it. He's still young, but he's got older brothers with lots of friends who don't believe in us. "This is a problem," said Santa. And as he read the letter aloud to all the workers in his workshop, there was silence, and the workers stopped working and making all the toys. And Santa, as he finished the letter, a tear ran down his cheek and dropped onto his boot. Because he was sad again, as he's always sad every time one little boy or one little girl stops believing in him he's always sad. People think Santa Claus is a very jolly, happy person, but in fact he's always sad when people stop believing in him, because he's real. And he really is real. I mean, why would people want to just buy things on one special day for no reason? It doesn't make sense. But if somebody like Santa was real, well, then it would make sense. And so it does make sense, because it is real. And Santa Claus, no, he doesn't make the presents. He is real. That's the story of why one boy made April cry.